Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Hey everyone, today I am going out to an estate. There's some folks selling off a bunch of things that have been in their family for a while, but the big thing that I'm excited about going to look at, that apparently there's an old 60s BSA motorcycle in the garage. If it's more or less all there and not seized, I'll probably make an offer on it. They also have some other boxes of things in the garage that I've been able to make an offer on if I decide I want the stuff. So we'll go check out the bike first and see what it looks like. And if all goes well, I'll be riding high on two wheels. Well, maybe not right away because it's a project. But hopefully I'll have a cool motorcycle and maybe some antiques by the end of this video. So stay tuned and let's see what happens. Today I've come to look through this garage because there is a 1960s BSA in here. It's a little bit dark, but I've been offered this bike. The fellow's had it for like 40 years. It looks really rough. I was sitting in a barn for years, but here's the crazy thing. It's not seized, but it's gonna need pretty much everything. Tank, seat, headlight is busted out. But it is a nice bike when it's completed, and it is worth picking up, and the price is okay. You know, it's a fraction of what it's worth restored, so even for parts, there's a lot of value here. So, we'll see if we can get it loaded up in the truck. My first time loading a bike in the back of the truck, so hopefully it'll fit in there okay, with the tonneau cover rolled back. But first things first, gotta open the garage door and start getting this thing outdoors. Well, got her loaded up. Most people would probably look at this and think, why are you saving this bike? But, you know, it's a cool piece of motorcycle history. It's a 60s British BSA and looks darn good. So we'll get it back to the shop and offload it there. Bike is offloaded, and I brought it over to my friend Harry's place, who has a plethora of cool motorcycles. This is what he does, fixes up bikes. And I brought it in for him to assess, and we're looking it over, and he says it's about 85% correct. It's not all bent up, like it doesn't look like it's had any heavy dropping or anything, but it does need a lot of work. The nice thing is it has the upgraded alloy rims. The engine is not stuck, but it's likely gonna need a rebuild because there's a little bit of rust on the dipstick, and that should be oil, not rust. So although it's not seized, it's gonna have to be taken apart and totally cleaned up. Same with the gas tank, etc. So although it is a project bike, it has a lot of potential and it will look absolutely beautiful when he's done with it. But I'm not gonna be the one restoring it. Harry ended up buying it for himself to do Lord knows what with, but it's off my truck, and it's definitely in the right hands being here amongst all of these other gems. Okay, well, with the motorcycle sold and in Harry's very capable hands, he is planning on doing a restoration on the bike. The nice thing about that deal is that when the bike is restored, I have the option to buy it back and potentially look at reselling it again. So that's pretty cool. I don't have to store it, I don't have to worry about it, and it's gone. So in the meantime, I'm headed back home, gonna offload the boxes, and we'll go through and see what else came in today. Well, I'm onto the side of the road now. Took the truck into the car wash, was making it look all spiffy and shiny, and that happened. We got broadsided. Somebody flew through an intersection and took out the side of the truck. My door doesn't even open anymore. I am bummed. out beyond belief. I mean, it's repairable. The truck still runs, but this was an original paint truck. So yeah, that happened. Well, this isn't the afternoon that I planned on having. I mean, at least it wasn't my fault. Felt bad for the young guy that hit me. I think he was 18 or 19 years old and never been in a collision before. But the truck, well, it's a little worse for wear. Let me show you what happened. This is what the truck looked like this morning on that side, because I just washed it earlier today. So rust-free, nice and clean, straight, everything worked well. This is what my driver's side looks like now. Luckily for me, he only clipped my front bumper a little bit, so it's a little pushed in there. You know, it's pushed in maybe about a half an inch or so, but it's not terrible, just some scuff marks there. But what happened was he drove right into my driver's door and then kind of smacked into the side, but he took off, he kept driving. I had to drive around the parking lot to go and meet up with him because he didn't know to stop after you hit somebody. So we've got basically my front fender is crunched in pretty good. My trim is all bent in. I've got a nice big dent and scuff mark down the side. My mirror has been completely ripped out of the body. Like, it actually pulled it out of the body. Look at that panel. Look at that gap I've got now. Somehow my trim stayed on. It's probably only got 2 clips holding it on, but my trim is still on and that didn't get bent. But the one on the bottom sure did. And look at this. Just a little bit of a gap in the door now. And of course the cab got hit too. Can't really tell if there's much down the side here because he kind of hit me and then drove off. There are a couple little dents here and there, but I don't know what the heck. He just careened around that corner like nobody's business. My biggest concern was whether the cab itself got bent in, because if you have structural damage in here, that's very, very difficult to well, it's not impossible, but it definitely is more of a challenge to repair. I think the cab itself is okay. Most of it's cosmetic. Look at that. Peeled that metal right back. So it's fixable, but door doesn't close all the way. Goes on the first latch. So I'm gonna have to get it home and park it until we figure out what can be done to fix this. But I don't know if you can tell the indentation here. It's in probably about that far from where it should be. See that? Maybe that's a better view. Well, quite the day. Okay, so let's find out what this is all going to cost. I went into the paint shop today and had them check it out. The front fender needs to be pounded back out. That can be saved, but they're going to have to take the trim off, the fender off, the molding off from around the window to get in there and paint properly. There's an extra surcharge for doing two-tone paint. They're going to have to replace the door entirely. The interior window mechanisms were damaged and broken. The cab corner on the back has a slight ripple in it. They're going to have to pop that back into place, pound it out, and get it refinished. Then you've got all the extra expense of taking the trim off, get everything prepped and painted and ready. The good thing is, it's fixable. The bad thing is, I'll have one side of the vehicle that looks like new and another side that doesn't. So it's going to be an extra expense for me either way to balance it off, and it's no longer original. So what is the grand total altogether? After parts, labor, install, and paint, they're looking at $5,368.10. That's a minimum. So what started off as a good day of me going on an adventure and picking and selling a motorcycle to a friend of mine ended up with me getting hit by another vehicle. And look, $5,300 in damages. But luckily I wasn't at fault. So it'll have to go through insurance. And the big bummer for me is that it was an original paint truck. Other than the hood, the rest of the vehicle was nice original paint. So one side is going to be fresh and new, and the other side is going to have natural patina. So that means I'll probably end up having to pay to get the other side matched. So I guess it's an entire paint job for the truck. But the good news is it's repairable.
They can still order the door, surprisingly, and the main parts that we're missing. The trim might be a little bit trickier, but the truck is so good and it's such a great vehicle and in such wonderful condition, other than what just happened today, that it's certainly worth fixing up. So now embarks a new journey. I guess I'll be getting it out of the passenger door for a while until it gets fixed. But boy, just when you think things are heading smooth and going in a good direction, something like that happens. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching today's vlog. Luckily, neither the other person or myself seemed seriously injured. My back's a little spasmy, but you know, you never know. Anyway, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.